Has Hamas turned the tables on Israel by delivering yet another major political blow to Benjamin Netanyahu? After nearly 2 decades in power, why is Hamas suddenly walking away from direct control of Gaza?
The head of the Government Emergency Committee and the acting head of Government Follow-up Committee, Mr. Mohammed Jawal Abdel Khalek Al-Farah, has decided to submit his official resignation from his position, as well as announcing the dissolution of Government Emergency Committee.
Has Hamas finally offered Israel what it wanted? And will Donald Trump now pressure Netanyahu to back off? Is the Gaza handover a genuine shift in strategy, or just an illusion that Israel calls a bid to buy more time? Amid escalating tensions with Iran and Hezbollah, Hamas has dealt Israel a major political surprise by dissolving its governing body in Gaza. After ruling Gaza for nearly 2 decades, Hamas says it is paving the way for a civilian administration to assume responsibility instead. The announcement dissolving the Gaza governing authority was officially made by Hamas on July 6. Hamas government media office confirmed that the head of the Gaza Administrative Committee has formally stepped down. Hamas further announced that a new technocratic committee will be entrusted with overseeing governance in the Gaza Strip. The National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, backed by Trump's Board of Peace Initiative, is expected to assume administrative responsibilities instead. The National Committee for the Administration of Gaza was established under the Trump-backed Board of Peace framework in 2025. Hamas has continued urging Israel to permit the NCAG to enter and begin operating inside the Gaza Strip. Hamas also intensified pressure on Israel by demanding tangible progress in the long-stalled peace negotiations. However, the Hamas statement made no reference to disarmament, which remains one of Israel's central conditions.
The head of the Government Emergency Committee and the acting head of Government Follow-up Committee, Mr. Mohammed Jawal Abdel Khalek Al-Farah, has decided to submit his official resignation from his position, as well as announcing the dissolution of Government Emergency Committee, in demonstration of the seriousness of the measures, in implementation of the agreed arrangements, and to facilitate the administrative transition process. We affirm to our Palestinian people that those who remain working at the government system will continue to provide services to our Palestinian people and will not leave their posts. They are employees of technical and professional levels only. They will stay in their positions to ensure the continuity of offering services to our great Palestinian people, and so that no administrative or technical gap takes place and causes harm to our honorable people. We categorically affirm that all employees working to offer services are state employees and they are fully ready to work under the responsibility of the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, NCAG.
There will reportedly be no immediate changes on the ground, where Hamas and its armed forces continue to control parts of the Gaza Strip. Gaza Board of Peace statement said, and I quote, "We have taken note of the announcement today regarding the dissolution of the Emergency Committee in Gaza. Ultimately, our assessment will be guided by actions, not promises, to meet the critical needs of the people of Gaza. Decisions must be comprehensive with respect to the requirements as set out in the roadmap for advancing governance, security, and transition in Gaza. We look forward to the successful conclusion of discussions on this roadmap, including on the implementation mechanisms necessary to enable the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza to assume full governing authority. The core principle remains one authority, one law, and one weapon. This means the consolidation of all weapons under the control of the NCAG as provided for in the Comprehensive Gaza Peace Plan and United Nations Security Council Resolution 2803. A genuine transfer of authority must enable the NCAG to exercise its mandate independently, including taking the administrative and governance decisions entrusted to it." End quote. Israeli officials insisted the move amounted to nothing more than meaningless spin, designed to buy Hamas additional time. However, analysts told CNN that Hamas' decision could increase pressure from Donald Trump on the Israeli government. Israel can no longer argue that Hamas is refusing to relinquish power in Gaza, one analyst told CNN. Israeli officials claimed all Hamas administrators remain in their positions despite the reported dissolution, according to Yet. Officials further alleged that Hamas continues to control Gaza's administration behind the scenes despite the announcement. Israel also maintained that the technocratic committee would be allowed to enter only under conditions dictated by Hamas. Israeli officials argued Hamas is effectively retaining control while attempting to project an image of political transition. On June 30th, Israel also faced intense criticism at the UN Security Council over civilian deaths in Gaza despite the ongoing peace framework.
Israel is condemned again and again and again. Members from the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health are quoted as fact. The numbers from their accusations against Israel are accepted first and examined later, if at all. I would like to thank Mr. Ramiz Al-Bagharov for his briefing, but just look at the other briefers invited here today. This time the presidency made an extra effort. It found some of the most radical anti-Israel voices it could find. These are not neutral experts. Definitely not. Mr. Itai Epstein, if you look at the social media, even compared President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to Hitler a few months ago. So those are the briefers you choose to bring, and supposed to be objective, neutral briefers. That's unfortunate. Madam President, since October 7th, this Council has heard the same accusations against us again and again. Accusations, Israel, that we are intentionally kill civilians, that Israel intentionally targets doctors, aid workers, and journalists. Time and again, I have come here and said clearly, Israel does not target civilians. Israel does not target journalists. Israel targets terrorists. But many of you today chose to repeat the same accusations. That is the UN on anti-Israel autopilot. And how it works, a claim is made against Israel, the UN repeats it, and then the world condemns it. Then when the truth comes out, it takes time, sometimes weeks, months, years, no apology, no correction, no retraction, they move on. We will not move on. We will put the truth on the record. Those so-called journalists were their own fighters, terrorists. Just last week, here in New York, the same propaganda campaign was repeated here by New York's city's mayor. Mr. Mamdani stood before a crowd. First, he compared AIPAC to monsters that move dark money. That's the language he used. Then he moved to talk about Gaza. He accused Israel of killing thousands of civilians. He said Israel killed an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmad Wisha. Mr. Mamdani, we have the video. We have the evidence. This is Ahmad Wisha, the one that you condemned us for eliminating. A Hamas terrorist, a sniper in Hamas's military wing. We have the video. You can see him armed in the streets of Gaza. Journalist or a terrorist? You tell us. This is the machine. Hamas makes a claim. The NGO, ecosystem, rapporteurs, briefers, they all repeats the lies. And then a UN report rubber stamps it. The world media broadcasts it, and Israel is condemned before the facts are even checked. The obstacle to peace is not Israel. It is the radicals. It is Hamas. If you will not listen to Israel, then listen to the Gazans risking their lives to say it. On Friday, Palestinians in Gaza called for a day of rage against Hamas. But the protests could barely take off. Why? Because Hamas sent armed men into the streets. It threatened protesters as collaborators, and it warned them they could be executed. That is Hamas rule, and they are not only terrorizing Gazans. Hamas is directing terrorism across the region, also in Judea and Samaria. Days ago, we exposed a Hamas network in Turkey, planning attacks against Israelis in Judea and Samaria and other parts in Israel.